In a bustling city, where the streets are alive with the rhythms of daily life, there once lived a dog whose devotion would become the stuff of legend. His name was Hachi, a gentle Akita with a heart full of loyalty and eyes that sparkled with unspoken hope. Every morning, as the sun stretched its golden arms across the rooftops, Hachi would trot alongside his beloved owner, Professor Ueno, to the local train station. The two were inseparable, bound by a friendship that transcended words and routines. As commuters hurried to catch their morning trains, Hachi would sit patiently by the station entrance, his gaze unwavering, his ears pricked in anticipation. When the train arrived, Professor Ueno would offer a final pat on Hachi's head, a soft whisper of reassurance, and then disappear among the throngs. For Hachi, this was never a goodbye, only a brief interlude until the evening's joyous reunion. Day after day, Hachi waited. He watched the world from his chosen spot, greeting familiar faces, sometimes earning a gentle stroke from passers-by. Hours slipped by, marked only by the arrival and departure of trains, until at last, Professor Ueno would return, his face lighting up at the sight of his faithful companion. Together, they would walk home side by side, the day's worries melting away with each step. But fate, unpredictable and often cruel, intervened one spring afternoon. Professor Ueno did not return. Hachi waited, his tail flicking, his eyes searching every face that emerged from the evening train. The crowds thinned, the sky faded to dusk, yet Hachi remained. The station master tried to coax him away, offering food and shelter, but Hachi's resolve was unshakable. He had made a promise in the language of loyalty, a vow that only his heart could understand. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. The city changed around him. Buildings rose, old shops vanished, new faces came and went. Yet through every season, Hachi remained at the station, a silent sentinel in the swirl of life. Rain soaked his fur, winter winds chilled him to the bone, summer heat shimmered on the pavement. Still, he waited, steadfast and patient, believing that each passing train might carry his friend home. The station workers grew fond of Hachi, moved by his unwavering devotion. They brought him food and water, built him a modest shelter near his favorite waiting spot, and protected him from harm. Commuters began to recognize the dog who waited each day, and his story spread throughout the city. People marveled at his faithfulness, and many stopped to offer comfort. But Hachi's heart belonged to one man alone. For 9 long years, Hachi kept his vigil. Every morning, he took his place, watching the world and hoping for a familiar face. He became a living symbol of loyalty, inspiring stories, poems, and whispers of wonder among those who passed by. Children pointed in awe, elders nodded in respect, and travelers paused to reflect on the quiet power of his waiting. As time wore on, Hachi's muzzle grew gray, his steps slowed, and his eyes, though tired, never lost their spark. He had weathered countless storms, endured loneliness, and sacrificed comfort, all in honor of the bond he cherished. His devotion was a gentle rebuke to the hurried lives around him, a reminder of the love that endures beyond absence. One crisp morning, as the city stirred to life, Hachi's heart finally rested. He lay near his waiting spot, bathed in the soft glow of dawn, his journey complete. The station workers found him and mourned the passing of a friend who had touched their lives in ways words could scarcely describe. News of his death swept through the city, and people gathered to pay their respects, laying flowers and tokens of gratitude where Hachi had waited so long. In time, a statue was erected at the station, a bronze likeness of Hachi, forever waiting, eyes fixed on the horizon. It stood not just as a tribute to one dog's devotion, but as a beacon of hope, a lesson in loyalty, and a celebration of the bonds that shape our lives. Children climbed onto the statue, hugging its sturdy frame, while elders told stories of the faithful dog who waited, year after year, for his beloved friend. Hachi's story became more than a tale of a dog and his owner. It became a testament to the enduring power of love. It reminded people that true loyalty is not measured in days or years, but in the constancy of the heart. It showed that love can survive loss, that hope can outlast disappointment, and that the simplest acts of devotion can leave the deepest marks on the world. As the seasons continued to turn, the memory of Hachi lingered in the hearts of those who had witnessed his vigil. Travelers paused at the station, touching the statue and reflecting on the meaning of waiting. Some found comfort in his story, others inspiration, and all recognized the gentle wisdom in his silent perseverance. For children growing up in the city, Hachi's legend became a cherished fable. Parents would point to the statue and share the story of the dog who waited, teaching lessons of patience, loyalty, and the enduring nature of love. To these children, Hachi was more than a bronze figure. He was a reminder that sometimes the greatest acts of courage are found in quiet persistence. Around the world, Hachi's tale spread, crossing borders and touching hearts. His story was retold in books, films, and songs, each version capturing the essence of his unwavering faith. People from distant lands journeyed to the station, drawn by the spirit of the dog who had waited so long. They brought offerings, whispered prayers, and took photographs, hoping to carry a piece of Hachi's legacy home. In the quiet moments between trains, when the city's heartbeat slowed, the spirit of Hachi seemed to linger. His memory offered solace to the lonely, strength to the weary, and hope to those who had lost someone dear. The station, once a place of hurried departures and arrivals, became a sanctuary of remembrance, where the story of a waiting dog invited reflection on the ties that bind us. For the station workers who had cared for Hachi, his absence left a gentle ache. They remembered the sound of his paws on the pavement, the warmth of his silent presence, and the way he had greeted each day with hope. In caring for him, they had discovered the quiet joy of compassion, and in his loss, the bittersweet truth of love's endurance. Hachi's story endures because it speaks to a universal longing, the desire to be reunited with those we love, the hope that our devotion will be recognized, and the belief that loyalty can transcend even the boundaries of time and space. In his waiting, Hachi taught the world a simple lesson, that to love is to remain, even when the world moves on, and that in waiting, there is a courage all its own. As the city continues to change, as new generations come and go, the story of Hachi remains, a gentle whisper in the rush of daily life, a reminder that some bonds are unbreakable. His statue watches over the station, eyes full of hope, heart full of loyalty, forever waiting for the friend who meant everything. And so the legacy of Hachi lives on. In every act of kindness, in every moment of patience, in every heart that waits for the return of a loved one, his spirit finds new life. The world may move swiftly, but the memory of Hachi's vigil endures, inspiring those who pass by to cherish the bonds they hold dear. For in the end, it is love that defines us, loyalty that shapes us, and hope that guides us through the passage of time. And in the quiet waiting of a devoted dog, the world found a story worth remembering. A story of courage, faithfulness, and the gentle power of the heart. Thanks for watching Pet Wisdom. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it with fellow pet lovers, and subscribe so you won't miss more pet care tips and amazing stories. Stay tuned. We'll see you in the next video.